Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let us start. And our target is to complete minimum one chapter per day. For that, you must have to read that one and do maximum questions from that different sources. I will try to share that sources too. The first concept which you need, the basic quantities. There are 7 basic quantities. That is a length, mass, and time. These 3 quantities will be discussed in the general physics. Then in the heat section, we will discuss about the temperature. In the electricity, we will discuss about the current. These 5 quantities will be discussed in the O-level syllabus. Then amount of substance as a units of the mole, luminous intensity, candela. You must be well familiar these 5 basic quantities. Powers of the 10. In the sciences, it is preferred that if some quantity is like this is 4,000, it is preferred to write in the power of the 10. That is 1.004. That is preferred that 4 into 10 to the power minus 3. In sciences, it is preferred that we write the answer in 10 to the power. And the general format for that is A into 10 to the power x, where A is a digit that is from 1 to 9, 1 point something and 9 point something, that is possible. That is called as a standard notations for that one. Then there comes the concept of the length. Length is a path between 2 points. The path between 2 points. The measuring instruments to find that length, if the length is more than the 1 meter, it is preferred to use the meter rule. If it is more than 1 meter, measuring tape within 1 meter, we prefer to use the meter rule or the half meter rule or the centimeter scale with respect to the length. If the length is less than 50 centimeter, it is preferred to use the vernier caliper. But if we have to find out the diameter of the very small objects, less than 5 centimeter, it is preferred to use the screw gauge. The precision of the screw gauge is more than vernier caliper and that scales. Then you must be well familiar with the concept of the conversion of that one. The decimeter stands for 10 to the power minus 1, centi for minus 2, milli minus 3, micro minus 6. There comes a concept that a certain 10 raised to the powers has a specific name. Centi for minus 2, milli for minus 3, micro minus 6, nano minus 9, kilo, that is 10 to the power 3, giga 10 to the power 9, and mega stands for 10 to the power 6. Once you are going to take the reading, your eye must be perpendicular to the scale reading. If your reading is not perpendicular to the scale reading to be taken, this position gives rise to the parallax error. The parallax error arises once your eye position is not perpendicular to the reading to be taken. As a result, we got a slightly less or the greater answer. Significant figures. Once you have the digit like this, it is preferred to write in the scientific form as many digits are there. These are significant and we use the rounded answer. That is 3.4. This is a 2 significant answer. And maximum you can write up to that is 3.42 after 2 decimal place. Whenever there is a digits are wrong like this, that is 3, 6, 2, 0, 0, 0, Then we have to find out how many significant figures are there. One of the ways that write down in the scientific form 3.62 into 10 to the power 5. As many digits are there, all these are significant figures. And then there comes test yourself. 1 centimeter stands for 10 to the power minus 2 meters. And like this is 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters. All of you must have to solve all these on the book or the copy and check the answers. If someone haven't the answers sheet, answers of this book, you can send a request on the group. What are the length in meter? We have to convert that into the meters. That is 300 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters. That will come to be 3 meters. That is 4.3. Another way is that 43 over 100 meters. That is 0.43 meters. 100 millimeters. That comes to be 100 by 1000. And this is 1 by 10 or 0.1 meters. Write down the each in the 10 to the powers. We just have to like this. This will come to be 3.5 into 10 to the power 3. For this comes to be 2.7 into 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4. Write out in full form. We have to write down the full form like this. 10 to the power 3. We will write that 10, 1 and 3 zeros. And for this one, we will write 1, 3, 4. Because that is 10 to the power 2, the decimal will move to the right by 2 places. Hence, we got the answer. Write each fraction as a power of 10. Like this is the question, 1 over 10, we can write it as 10 to the power minus 3. And this will come to be 3 by 6 into 10 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 4. As the zeros are in denominator, once they go in numerator, that will be with negative sign. Express these 10 one figure decimal place, that you will write that 8.4 into 10 to the power minus 2, as we are going to move the decimal towards the right. This will come 1.04 into 10 to the power minus 3. Then there is an area. With respect to the different shapes, we have the different formulas to calculate the area. Most commonly used areas will become of triangle, that is 1 over 2 base into height. 1 by 2 the base into that perpendicular height. Or that is of the rectangle, that is length into width. Or there comes the area of the trapezium in the speed time graphs, that is 1 over 2 into sum of parallel sides into the perpendicular height. Then you have to calculate for that circle, that is pi r square. You must have to solve the put in practice just like this. Calculate the area of a triangle whose base is this and height is this. 1 by 2 into 8 into 12. You will get some answer. The volume of the objects. If the volume is just like a cube, cubical volume, that is the L cube. Cube type, that is length into width into the height. If that is of the cylinder, we will use that pi r square for its area of the base into that height of the cylinder. That will give us the volume of that cylinder. And to find the volume of a liquid, the measuring cylinder is going to be used. For that measuring cylinder, oftenly there comes at that is at 20 degrees written on them. That temperature written on the measuring cylinder means that that has been calibrated for that much degree of the temperature. Water means this measuring cylinder is calibrated for 20-degree water. If the water temperature is going to be vary, that will not give you the exact answer. In the previous exams, there often comes the precautions once you are going to be use that measuring cylinder. The measuring cylinder, whenever you have the answers, you will send after that class in the group. During the class, I will not listen the questions. Your measuring cylinder must be vertical one, and your eye must be perpendicular to the reading to be taken. Once you are going to be take that meniscus of the water, the lower meniscus will be observed. Means the water is just like this one. In that one, this is the upper meniscus and this is the lower meniscus, which is the major one. And we have to observe this lower meniscus. Now they comes put in practice. They calculate the volume of the rectangle box of this, and this in centimeter cubic meters. Means we must have to convert that into the meters too. So that will be 30 by 100 into 25 by 100 into 15 by 100. We will get the answers in meter cube. First, we convert all these dimensions in meters, and then we find its volume. Then there comes time. Time is the interval of an occurrence. Its SI units are seconds. The old definition of the time was 1 by 24 into 60 into 60th part of a solar day is called as the 1 second. But now there is a cesium atom. If that vibrate for 9 times power 9 times, that much time interval is said to be 1 second. That is just for your information. And same way, above the length, there is a standard length of that platinum iridium rod. Its length has been standardized to be 1 meter. And we have to follow that standards. After that, they come to test yourself like this. How many significant figures are there? There are 2, 3, and this 0 is non-zero, is not zero student. Or you can write it as 7.18 into 10 to the power 0. So there are 3 significant figures. If you write that one, it comes to be 4.2 into 10 to the power minus 2. There are 2 significant figures. Then is what type of the timer you would use to measure a period of a simple pendulum? For that, a stopwatch is enough. Analog clock. Once we are going to read any set of the values, that is length, time, or whatever, the digital devices are going to be preferred. If we are going to be use the digital devices, there is a avoidance of that parallax error. The parallax error does not arise if we are going to be use the digital devices. But if we discuss about the disadvantage of using the digital devices, if their cell is run out, they will not give you the accurate answer. Then there comes the definition of the time period, time taken to complete one oscillation. If a simple pendulum is going to be oscillate, The time taken to complete one oscillation is called as the time period. The number of oscillations in 1 second is called as frequency. And 1/second is called as the hertz. Systematic error. If like this zero is going to be start after some space, that is a systematic error, and that one is called as in scale, that is called as dead end. And in case of the screw gauge, if we close the jaws, if the zero of the main scale is not coinciding with the zero of the screw scale, hence there is a zero error. And that zero error is called as a systematic error. The vernier caliper, use of that one and reading of that one not in syllabus, so no need to. Just like this. This is an example of the screw gauge. This one is called as the main scale reading. Plus the least count, which is a standard one. The least count of that scale is 1 centimeter, or that is 0.1 centimeter, or that 1 millimeters for that scale. And that least count of that vernier caliper is 0.1 millimeters or 0.01 centimeters. And least count of that screw gauge is 0.01 millimeters or 0.001 centimeter. You must have to remember this least count for the scale and the screw gauge. Least count is the minimum division measurement on the instrument. Into this one, the reading on the screw scale is called as screw scale reading. Once we have to take the reading, over there, main scale reading is 2.5. That main scale reading is 2.5 plus the least count, which is standard. We must have to remember that one. Into screw scale reading, the reading coinciding with this zero line. That is 35, in between 30 and 35, that is 33. So this comes to be 2.83 millimeters. And if we have to convert that into centimeters or that millimeters, we must have to use that standards one. Then there comes the terms scalars and the vectors. Scalar quantities are those quantities which require magnitude and unit, while the vector quantities are those quantities which need magnitude, unit, and direction. If we have to add up the two scalar quantities, just example, I have 2 kg apple and 3 kg banana I have, the total mass I have is the 5 kg. While if we have to add up two vector quantities, then we have a parallelogram method. For example, if there are 3 Newton and 4 Newton forces are going to be act, if these forces are going to be act in the same direction, 3 and 4, the resultant is 7. If they are going to be act in opposite direction, the resultant is 1. And in between 1 and 7, all the other forces are possible. If I ask 2 Newton is possible by applying 3 and 4, answer is yes. If I apply the 3 Newton and 4 Newton forces, the resultant of the 4 Newton is possible? Yes. Less than 1, more than 7 is not possible. To construct its parallelogram, we take a suitable scale. 1 Newton is equals to 1 centimeter. Then we draw a 3 centimeter line. then that right angle we will draw if these forces are going to be at 90 degree. Other than 0, 180 and 90, other angles are not in syllabus now. So we will construct the parallelogram, this one, and the vector joining tails towards the head is called as resultant. We will find out its length, and hence we are able to find the resultant vector. By using the projector, we can find the angle over there. If we want to do that by mathematical form, this is going to form a right angle triangle. Hence, this resultant force is equal to the 3 square plus 4 square whole square root by Pythagoras theorem. And this angle is equals to tan inverse 4 by 3. Now, by using calculator, you have to do that values, solve it, you will get some answers. Then this one. Walk 600 meters towards north, then east. What is the displacement? You have to draw the direction. This is towards the north. You have to draw, first take the suitable scale. 100 meters is equals to 1 centimeter. Then draw a 6 centimeter line towards the north. Then 8 centimeter line towards the east, 8 centimeter towards east. Join these, you will get a parallelogram. Then a vector starting from the tails. This is the tail of this vector. That is the head of both these vectors from the tails towards the heads. This is the resultant one. Find that length, convert that into the meters. That is our answer. Use D and find this angle. If you want to solve that by mathematical, this is a graphical method. By the mathematical method, you will do it 600 square plus 800 square whole square. It will be the magnitude of this one. And for that angle, you will do by mathematical tan inverse 800 over 600. You will get some answer. Then there are example questions. You must have to solve it. Let us do this third one. This much square can attain a height of this much. Calculate the volume. Hence, for the volume, we will write that 6 into 6 into the 7. The answer is in centimeter cube. If a stone is lowered so that completely immersed, then water rise by this much. Calculate the new volume of the stone. Hence, the new volume, if I call it a V1, the V2 will be 6 into 6 into 9. To find the volume of the stone, we will write V2 minus V1 will be the answer of that volume of stone. Once we are going to take for that question 5, the reading, over there, the main scale reading is 2 plus least count 0.01 into the vernier scale reading. This reading is going to be coincide, that is the 31. Hence, the answer is 2.31. Okay. Now for this, the main scale reading is 14.5 plus the least count 0.01 into that skewed scale reading in between 45 and 0. That 0 will be read as a 50. So it will be read as 46, 47. This 0 line is going to coincide with 47. Hence, our answer will be 14.97. And if we see towards the 6, Length is a scalar, force is a vector, temperature is a scalar, time is a scalar quantity. This is all about the chapter 1.